First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while lunch is truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is WW3 news. So I like to say shalom to all our listen and learn. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by The Hill, and it said Putin ready to work with U.S. companies on mining rare earth deposits in Russian-occupied Ukraine. It says here, Russian President Vladimir Putin said his nation was ready to work with U.S. companies to secure rare raw minerals within the nation borders in hopes of ending the conflict in Ukraine after 3 years of war. It says here, it is important to emphasize that Russia possesses significantly, I want to stress this, significantly larger resources of this kind than Ukraine. Said Russia is one of the uncontested leaders when it comes to rare earth metal reserves. It says Putin told reporters during a Monday interview aired on state TV, according to a transcript provided by the Kremlin. He urged partners to sustainably invest in the harnessing of resources of for the use of microelectronics, energy, and building infrastructure for the digital economy. Said Putin's statement comes after American official proposed that Ukraine allow the U.S. access to its raw minerals to recoup billions of U.S. dollars designated to support Ukraine fight against Russia. So right here, Trump, we already know that Trump is a businessman. He has a lot of different business. He's dealing in real estate. Also, got casinos. And one thing about we know that also he is a billionaire. So we seeing where this all is going right now. They saying that, Trump offered them a deal whereby, they can recoup some of the money that, was during the Biden administration, sent all that money over there. Now, Trump is saying that they're trying to recoup at least, I think it's if I'm not mistaken, $500 billion, dollars back, by going in there and tapping into some of their resources, So we already know that, what America do, it goes in and, set up their democracy, their policy, their leaders, and also they come in there and drain them dry of their resources. So we already know where this is going. So we're gonna get a bit about their rare raw materials that is in Ukraine. So we seeing what this war pretty much was all about. This also is a land grab. Also, these resources that they have in Ukraine, I think one of them is lithium. So you already know about that lithium. A lot of things are coming up about lithium. So look that up. So these things are becoming full circuit. Also, we seeing that now after Donald Trump told Ukraine about about recouping some of their money by going in and tapping in some of their resources to make up to recoup some of their money, what they have loaned out to them by going in and getting some of their resources. So we already know it. But once they said that, then Putin came with a mineral deal, that, hey, we'll come with a deal and we want to end this war and we could do this and we could do that. And also they were saying that the the territory that Russia already has obtained, already has conquered, saying that they can come in and we can deal with these resources. But we seeing these things right now, man. Like this is knocking basically NATO out, also Ukraine out. So we already knowing at some point we know that NATO is going to turn against America. Babylon the Great, the whore that sits on many waters. So we seeing how these things are lining up. So we seeing right now that America is on shaky ground. This thing could go any way. It could go left. You know what I'm saying? And when they say peace and safety, then total destruction will come upon them. So let's read this once again. It says here, it said Putin. It says, read this right here at the top. It says here, it said Putin's statement comes after the American official proposed that Ukraine allow the U.S. access to its raw minerals to recoup billions of U.S. dollars designated to support Ukraine fight against Russia. So now we're seeing now that what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? They see we're not ignorant of its devices. Once again, it said Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent recently joined a U.S. Delegation. Delegation to visit Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. It says here, for peace negotiations alongside Vice President Vance. Said Vance described the meeting as fruitful and noticed economic tools of leverage could be used to mineralize discussions surrounding ending the violence in an interview with the Wall Street Journal. So like you about that. Got a little tongue tied on that one. Said we would be happy to cooperate with any foreign partners, including American companies, Putin said later, noting that some discussions with the U.S. business interests in the venture are already underway. So right now, so we know, and I got another news article too to bring it out. They saying that they're getting close to a agreement. So right here, once again, it said Putin ready to work with U.S. companies on mining rare earth deposits in Ukraine, deposit in Russian occupied Ukraine. So this means that that what Russia has conquered. What they already is that they are in control of. So it's talking about the Russian occupied Ukraine territory that Russia's already it's already has what I'm trying to say has already conquered. So let's get to this news break right here. I'm just kind of like all over the place right now. So like you for that. Let's see here. Let's get this little news clip right here, right quick.
Zelensky offered to step down as president over the weekend as long, he said, as it would end the war and secure NATO membership for his country. A deal still on the table offering U.S. support to Kyiv in exchange for nearly half of their rare earth minerals. Here's National Security Advisor Michael Waltz this morning before meeting with President Macron.
I think President Macron, Prime Minister Starmer, other European leaders have suggested to Zelensky that this is a good deal for Ukraine going forward. It's a good deal for the region. And again, this is about kind of growing the pie, so to speak, economically, and binding the U.S. and Ukraine together for the future.
Now, Niall, Zelensky is still demanding better terms. So this is a deal between the U.S. and Ukraine, separate from any peace deal negotiations. How does this fit into the Trump administration's mission to end the war?
It's a great question, and it's a rather complicated situation because it's not always totally clear which deal they're talking about when they make public comments. The argument here is that if Ukraine granted the United States those mineral rights, it would help compensate the US for aid to Ukraine. Now, what is less clear is whether the Trump administration is giving any guarantees going forward, or whether this would be some effort to recoup costs that have already been expended on Ukraine's behalf. I think there's a lot of unknowns around this deal, Judy, including, of course, whether President Zelensky is going to sign on to it.
So now let's go here. Let's find out about a little about these resources. So we already seeing right now that Russia, when they came with that deal to Ukraine to the to let them know that they want to recruit some of their get some of their money back by going and tapping into some of their mineral rights. Now Russia is telling them that they can make a deal with them that the territory that they already has conquered. So we seeing how these things is going back and forth. Basically it's no peace talk. It's just Donald Trump is trying to use his muscle, trying to come in there and tap into some of these resources right here. He said, what minerals is in Ukraine? Salaki, what mineral is Ukraine known for? It says here, let's just skip down and get straight to the point, what they're known for. It says here, let me go ahead and read. It said the new site, Economics Unit EP said the two countries has also agreed to set up a reconstruction investment fund. Said Ukraine holds huge deposits of critical elements and minerals, including lithium, titanium, as well as sizable coal, gas, oil, and uranium deposits supplied worth billions of dollars. See, so we seeing now, what I'm saying, Donald Trump is going over there trying to get some of these earthly raw mineral deposits over here. You know what I'm saying? They already know about this lithium. That's dealing with those batteries. Uranium, I think that's dealing with this. Uranium is dealing with something, nuclear, so a lot of these things right here, oil and gas. So we already knowing about what this man do. He goes into many countries, all he wants to do is rob, steal, and kill. You know what I'm saying? One thing about, because thou hast spoiled many nations, thou shalt also be spoiled. So these things are coming upon him at a fast pace. So we seeing where this could go. So this is leaving Ukraine out. Also, what's the name? Zelensky, I think that's what his name, President Zelensky, said that, he will step down if these things go through, everything work out with Russia and between America. And also, all of a sudden now, Zelensky is beginning to look very small. So, and also, this still is not going to, what I'm trying to say is that it still is a possibility that Russia can still go into Europe and into these NATO countries. So we seeing right now that America is leaving. Seem to me that they're getting ready to leave NATO, to get ready to be done with Ukraine also. So we already know right now is at some point, once again, NATO, and also we seeing right now that Ukraine could turn also. So we already know that this thing can pop off at any given time. When they say peace and safety, they total destruction will come upon. So really, basically, now this really is talking about they making deals, but they basically is not, to me, it's kind of complex, not really stopping the war, he's saying that he wants to stop the war, but all of a sudden he's trying to go over there and get this oil, gas, and resource, uranium, this titanium, man, I'm telling you, man, this devil is, man, I'm telling you, let's read this here. It's another one, kind of similar one. It said U.S. Ukraine. This is a little bit more newer right here. It said U.S. Ukraine agrees to terms of mineral deals, Ukraine says. So let's see, they might have came to some type of deal. Let's read a little bit of this. It said Ukraine and the U.S. and the United States have agreed to terms on a deal relating to critical minerals and other resources, according to a senior Ukrainian official. So while Ukraine has said it agreed to deal, President Donald Trump did not confirm. It said the U.S. has agreed, yet instead of saying he has heard Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will visit Washington, D.C. to finalize the deal on Friday, and that it's okay with me, say if he likes to. So man, I'm telling you, man. So a lot of things is going on. So this man, he's getting ready to come to Washington D.C. to seal the deal. So you already know this. Also, this leaving, you leaving Russia out, and so Russia now is trying to make a deal. They want to stop this war, but we already knowing that how this picture is looking. We seeing that right now that this is like a land grab. We already know what went down in North, I think it was Asheville, North Carolina. They got a lot of resource, a lot of earthly raw material up there. I think it that's lithium also in North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, also in those Appalachian Mountains. So all of a sudden now they was constantly helping out Ukraine, sending all this money. And all of a sudden now Donald Trump gets into office and said that it's time for you to repay us. Let's give us some of these resources. Give us some of these earth deposits. Give us some of these rare raw earth materials. And one thing about it, so we seeing right now how these things are going, but we already know that things are getting ready to escalate, because this could go any given way, so we know that NATO right now is left in the cold, and also Ukraine. So we, never trust thy enemy. Even though they would join hand in hand, they shall not go unpunished. So we're seeing how this is lining up, man. So they're saying that this deal should be confirmed Friday. So now let's go here and get a quick precept. Now I got another video I'm gonna show, and once again, this is what this all about. We seeing right here about these critical elements and minerals. Let's read it once again. It said lithium, titanium, as well as sizable coal, gas, oil, and uranium deposits. So, man, I'm telling you, man, this man, he don't give a damn. He's going into these countries, you know what I'm saying? They trying to make America great again, trying to jumpstart his economy, you know what I'm saying? Trying to add Canada, trying to say, trying to make Canada a part of America, you know what I'm saying? Trying to make Greenland a part of America, It's also trying to change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And it also was rumors that Google already changed the name on Google Maps. So man, this man here, you know what I'm saying? We already know this is what you call the hammer of the whole earth. But one thing about it is that we already know that he's trying to get that advantage. But one thing about it, we already know his hand will not be able to perform his enterprise. So now let's go here and get a quick precept. Let's go here to Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 21. Let's go here first. Proverbs chapter 11. Let me get some of these tabs closed up. Got so many of them open. Salakia. Just rolling in the spirit on this lesson also. Let's go here to Psalm chapter 11. Proverbs, Salakia. Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 21. And it reads, said, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So we're seeing right now, they constantly join hand in hand, even though we knowing that Russia really, in fact, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to make a deal, and we already knowing that how these things is constantly, these things are coming full circle, whereby we seeing America true agenda over there in the so-called in that Middle East region, also in the Ukraine area, So we seeing right now that this is what this is all about. A land grab, also getting their resources, making money. This is what this is all about. So we already know right now, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So one thing about it that we know, and even though they try to constantly willing and dealing, doing these under the table deals, and one thing about it that we know that these things right now is They saying that they are wanting peace, but when they say peace and safety, the total destruction will come upon us. So we know that these nations are getting ready to turn against Babylon the Great. Even though we sound like a broken record, but we seeing how these things are lining up just like clockwork. So now let's go to this one right here. Let's get this one, and I got one more video, and then we'll get a few more precept. We'll close out. Let's go here to Psalm chapter. It's him what thought that he shall rule forever. So we seeing this man right here, he making all kind of deals. I said, man, wow. This man over here now, he's dealing, talking about giving them the resources, man. Man, this devil here I'm telling you, Trump, man, he's getting it popping. Psalm chapter 49 and verse 11 said, their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. So we seeing that right now. This man right here, his inward thought that he will rule forever. He's in for a rude awakening. We seeing that he's constantly trying to get all these different nations under his banner, like Canada, like Greenland. Also he's trying to get Mexico to fall in line with him. So but one thing about it, he's in for a rude awakening. And it said they call their lands after their own name. A pure example of that is what? The talking about changing it to the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And also we already knowing about, they changed with this guy that say that he named America, which in fact was Etheridge. What was his name? Was Amerigo Avicii, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, it was so-called, white man. But we seeing right now, this is spot on right now. His inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. But one thing about it, we already know this man at the end of his rulership. We know that this man, the Lord is getting ready to cut this man off, very soon. So we seeing right now, he's constantly trying to boost up the economy. He's constantly trying to make America great again. But one thing about it, he is in for a rude awakening. So now let's get this other quick video, and then we'll get one or two more, and then we'll close out.
Man, Ukraine, you are done for. Russia just came up with a deal that Trump can't deny. So since Ukraine don't want to give Trump the minerals or don't want to easily come up with a deal with Trump, Russia has offered to give Trump all the minerals in areas that Ukraine was going to give them at, and also to give them some of their own minerals if they can work on joint projects. This is coming as Trump says he wants to do deals with Russia. He wants to do business with Russia again. He wants to get our economies back going. So I guess this would be a good deal for Trump because he's literally getting what he wanted from Ukraine. This is also coming at a time where Ukraine's parliament is reportedly failing to vote on Zelensky's term. They're doing this because Trump calls Zelensky an illegitimate president, meaning that the people didn't want him. So he wanted re-elections, and the parliament now has passed that Ukraine doesn't need no re-elections on the second attempt. And here's the article. So they're saying there's no elections during wartime now, and they're saying that as long as martial law is going, Zelensky will continue to be the president unless he's assassinated or something like that. And we have Trump being warned of a nuclear threat from the East, as Putin could become the dominant figure in Europe. As long as Trump in Europe keeps going at it, Russia could use this to pretty much break Europe down. There would be no more NATO. So all the areas that Russia wanted to go after before, like the Baltic states and stuff, they would be able to go after. And what if the United States still get drawn into war? But Trump already knows this. This is why he's warning of World War III if there's no deal. If there's no deal, there's going to be World War III. It's already World War III. It's just who's going to stop it. But as long as Zelensky has Europe, I don't think he has anything to worry about. I think Europe's willing to go to war with Zelensky. Well, I should say some European countries. But you can tell there's still problems between Russia and the United States because they're not agreeing to everything. Yesterday, Trump said that Russia agrees to European troops going into Ukraine. Russia refused to comment on that today. They have never been a fan of this plan because this would mean NATO will be right on their borders. And, if a war did break out, NATO's right there. So what y'all think? Peace deal within 2 weeks? So y'all think it's going to be more complicated than that? Let me know in the comment section. More news next.
So we see it right now. America pretty much on shaky ground. It's like these things can go it can go sideways at any given time. So, they trying to make deals, but these deals, are still uncertainty, very, very shaky, one thing about it, like a hair trigger. So let's start here first. Let's go here to just something quick I just seen in the spirit. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter. We're seeing that America is dealing very treacherously right now. But one thing about it, it's getting ready to be dealt treacherously with. So that's getting ready to happen, right at any given time, because this man right here, I love DJ WW3. I love him for what he, not love him in a way by what he, that the evil that he doing. I love because he's making these prophecies pop left and right through the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Man, this red devil here, man. I'm telling you, Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 1 said, "Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee." So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. Right now, he's constantly dealing very treacherously, constantly spoiling. Because thou hast spoiled many nations. You also shall be spoiled. So we're coming upon that time where America is getting ready to be dealt with very treacherously. We are very close to these times. So we're seeing how these things are constantly lining up. America is on shaky ground, uncertainty, and one thing about it, we already knowing at some point that Russia is going to be the guard to these other nations. They're going to come into alliance together. So one thing about it, everything is shaky right now. So let's go here to Obadiah. Let's go to this one right here, Obadiah. This man is very prideful. Let's go here, Obadiah chapter 1, and let's start up at verse. Let's go here. Let's start up here, verse 3. It said, "The pride of thy heart." Let's highlight this. Said, "The pride of thy heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that says in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" You know what I'm saying? Who shall bring me down to the ground? And out of the body, who is this? Who is this talking about? Who is this in reference to? Esau Edom, the modern day so-called white man, saying that his habitation is high. That it's in the cliffs and the rocks of the mountain. So we already know that he was in those Caucasus Mountains. And all of a sudden now, he got that pride on him, you know what I'm saying? So you can look around in America and see all these different skyscrapers, you know what I'm saying, remind him of what? Mount Seir, these mountains and caves that he came out of, but right now, you cannot tell him anything. But the Lord said it's going to bring him down. Said, verse 4, it said, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, says the Lord." So the Lord's getting ready to bring this red devil down very soon, So even though he's making all these willing and dealing, but one thing about it that we already knowing that at some point, the Lord is getting ready to shut him down. Let's go to the blue letter, and we're gonna read Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 7 in the blue letter. I just want to read this part in the NLT. Let's go here. Obadiah chapter 1, once again, Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 7. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 7. So we see right here, it says, let's read in the KJV for Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 7. So, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border, said the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, that they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, and there is none understanding in him." So we're knowing at some point that these nations are going to turn against Babylon the Great, America. So we already know right now they're leaving NATO out. They're leaving most of Europe out. It's going to be wide open for Russia. But if they come to some type of agreement, this thing right here could all of a sudden blow out of control. We already know that World War III has begun, but it's getting ready to escalate. We are very close. A time of trouble that we've never seen before. Verse 7 said, "All your allies," see that? "All of your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Said your trusted friend, your trusted friends will set traps for you and you won't even know about it. So one thing about it, we already know that his destruction is gonna come, just like a whirlwind, when he's unaware, these nations, they're gonna hit him with everything. All these nations gonna what? Gonna want to shoot their missiles, at America. So we see it right now. We at that point. This man is what you call that cruel Lord, and one thing about it, he want to be a dictator, and what right now we seeing that he's trying to toss his weight around right now. The most proud Esau Edom. But one thing about it, we seeing right now, these nations are plotting, they're deceiving, America right now. Even though they're joined hand in hand, but at some point, all hell is getting ready to what? To break loose. Let's read that once again in verse 7 in NLT. It said, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. So your trusted friends will set traps for you and you won't even know about it. So one thing about it, exactly what's getting ready to happen to what? Babylon the Great. So let's go to our last and final script. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit. Let's go here to 1 Thessalonians. We'll close out here. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. We'll start up at verse 1. It said, but of the times and season, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. So we know perfectly well, what times and season that we're living in. We're here, so we're right upon war, And one thing about it, there will be no peace. Destruction could come all of a sudden at any given time. Verse 2 said, for yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. So the Lord's going to come when people aware, unexpectedly, when you're going on with your daily life. Let's read it in NLT. Said, for you know quite well that the day of the Lord return will come unexpectedly, said, like a thief in the night. So you already know the thief gonna come, when you're sleeping, when you're, unaware, when you got your back turned. The Lord's gonna show up and show out. Verse 3 said, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So we coming upon that time. Let's read it in the NLT. It says, when people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, that's what they're saying right now. It said, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman labor pains begin, and there will be no escape. So one thing about it, we coming upon that time. So when these things break out, and one thing about it, it's going to be just like a domino effect, one thing behind another. And one thing about it, and you got to keep your eyes on Israel. The least of the flock should draw them out. So we already know at some point Israel is going to do something ill-advised, and this thing is going to get popping through the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So we seeing that the Lord's constantly gathering the nation. And one thing about it, we seeing that right now that America, DJ Donald Trump, which in fact is Nero reincarnated, he's constantly dealing very treacherously, and these nations are getting ready to deal treacherously with him when he's done spoiling. He's almost done spoiling. He's got a time limit. His time is up. The Lord's getting ready to take him down. Esau is the end of this earth age, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is World War III news. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rikak Wadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.